Election campaigns in Germany are usually very civilised, polite affairs, focusing on policy rather than personal attacks.
As our neighbours and friends like to say, we are a boring country, we are boring people, and we like our politics boring.
Which makes what comes afterwards quite a jolt. The event known as the Elephants Roundtable is a particularly strange post-election tradition, where the candidates go for each other and begin the months-long wrestle over the complex coalition governments that define Germany's political system.
The jockeying for coalition partners began on television before the official result had even been declared.
The German election coming this Sunday will see the end of Angela Merkel's 16-year term as Chancellor, a job which has often seen her dubbed the most powerful woman in the world. She leaves by choice, still enjoying a remarkable 70% approval rating. And it has been her extraordinary ability to manage the most unwieldy of coalitions, led by her Christian Democratic Party, the CDU, that has underwritten her dominance of domestic politics and made her the key figure holding Europe together through repeated crises. Christoph Heusgen was Angela Merkel's chief foreign policy advisor from 2005 to 2017.
It's a operating style which is typical for scientists. When it comes to the financial crisis, she became, almost an expert in economics.
Now we have 6 parties in the national parliament, which requires a lot more juggling, jiggling, manoeuvring in politics. And Merkel is very good at that. She is very pragmatic.
Merkel had an astonishing rise through German politics because her mentor, the long-serving Chancellor Helmut Kohl, had pragmatically needed a woman and someone from the former East Germany in his cabinet. But the political novice revealed both a politically lethal streak when she turned on Kohl when he was mired in a corruption scandal, and a capacity to outplay her male rivals.
A one-shy academic morphed into the Merkelator.
And it has been her capacity to manoeuvre and hold the centre that has been Merkel's signature contribution not just to German politics but to Europe.
She has achieved it, but not by power politics, but more by a soft power approach. When Merkel is going to leave office, there will be a shift. Because who's now the face of Europe, right?
With her departure, the more ambitious Emmanuel Macron of France becomes the senior figure in European politics. Possibly unfortunate timing for Australia.
Germany has become certainly the most prosperous, the most wealthy anchor economy of Europe. And with Brexit, in some ways, the political leader. And yes, Merkel has contributed to that. I think in some opposition to her French counterpart, Emmanuel Macron, who has been a strident advocate of deeper European integration, even at the cost of alienating some particularly newer Eastern Europeans. Merkel has always insisted that no prize is worth the disintegration of Europe.
Merkel's chancellorship had to survive a wave of crises: the global financial crisis, a Eurozone crisis, the spectre of Greece defaulting on its loans, Donald Trump, and strife in the Ukraine, to name just a few. Merkel's longevity has seen her deal with 4 US and French presidents, 2 Chinese presidents, 5 British and 6 Australian prime ministers, and Vladimir Putin.
She was regarded as somebody unexperienced. And everybody, from Tony Blair to Jacques Chirac, were totally surprised how much the Chancellor knew about details, how much she was engaged. And that has been her role over the years. Whenever there is a crisis, keeping Greece in particular in the European Union was a masterpiece.
She is a European, obviously. She's not a nationalist. But what was lacking was this idea. The spirit that you need to kind of drive the process further to become more European in the long run.
While Merkel's role in various crises are widely lauded, the notoriously cautious politician made one decision in 2015 which had massive ramifications.
She said that I don't want this images going around the world. And then she said, okay, we will open our borders. And we had then in 2015, close to 1 million refugees. She said, we are going to make it. We are schaffen das. We are going to manage it. And we are managing it.
These refugees had all come up the land route from the Balkans through to the Austrian-German border. And if Germany had decided to close its borders, that would have created public order crises all down that immigration route, for which we would have been held responsible.
Leading the charge against Merkel's handling of the refugee flow has been the populist far-right party, Alternative for Germany.
What is really striking is that even now, after Germany received 2 million asylum applications in 8 years, gave protection to 1 million people, the far right in Germany is significantly weaker than in all of its European neighboring states.
I think a lot of Germans, perhaps myself included, would have wanted Angela Merkel to face off with the AfD more forcefully than she ever did. Instead, she, I think, mostly ignored them and would very occasionally mock them a little in parliamentary debates.
If imitation is the greatest form of flattery, the greatest compliment for Merkel may be that the leaders of all the major political parties now copy her political style. But no one doubts that with her departure, the country will head in a different direction.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.